I turn to my house. House, I whisper. Is there anything you can do to help the old Yaga's house? The door frame purses together and the windows narrow. If it's true about you doing what you can to make me happy, and I know you've done lots already, maybe even made me alive when you didn't have to. I take a tumbling breath. I might be asking too much, but if there's anything you can do to save her house, then I'm not sure what else to say. Please? The house gives a little nod and I smile. I walk to Benjamin's house with a spring in my step, and my cheeks ache from smiling as we wander away from the village, towards the little town by the lake. Although I keep checking my hands to see if they'll fade, I know in my heart they won't. I feel too alive to be dead. Blood rushes through my veins and my mind buzzes with all the new things I see and hear and touch. We follow a path along the lake shore. Light and shadows dance beneath a canopy of rustling leaves. Cormorants rest on the tiny islands, their wings held open to dry. Geese honk warnings to stay away from their nests in the reeds as fluffy goslings wobble around their feet. The lake laps gently onto the shore, reflecting the mountains and the sky, soft white clouds that remind me of Bubba's hair. I dip my fingers into the cool water and pick up smooth, shining stones. Before I know it, we are skirting the edge of the town, walking past market stalls and buildings and real, live, living people. I feel almost as weightless as I did in the stars. My gaze flits from shop windows filled with food to people holding hands and wearing friendly smiles. Everyone is getting on with their day like it's so ordinary, while inside I'm bursting with the wonder of it all. The festival is in the park that runs from the edge of the town to the shore of the lake. A stage has been set up and a huge group of drummers are on it, sending beats thrumming into the air. Every muscle in my body vibrates, and it must be the same for all the other people, because they're bouncing around everywhere like me. Different musicians take turns on the stage. Some dance with instruments that shine in the sun, and others strum guitars and sing. Melodies rise up and drift across the lake. Bubba would have loved all this music so much. Thinking of her makes my body feel heavy and the bounce in my feet disappears. Benjamin must notice because he asks if I want to rest and get something to eat from one of the food stalls. I choose something that looks like a pink fluffy cloud because I can't possibly imagine what it might taste like. I break off sticky wisps and let them dissolve on my tongue, while Benjamin pulls off chunks and squashes them in until they look like solid pink sweets. The sun sets, but the music plays on. We dance some more in front of the stage, surrounded by living people, until I feel like there's no air left in my lungs. Finally, the festival ends, and we wander back along the lake shore, watching silver moonbeams curl over ripples. Both my mind and body are heavy and tired, but it's one of the nicest, warmest feelings I've ever had, because I'm worn out from doing some of the things I've only ever dreamed of. I'm bursting to get home and tell the house and the old Yaga about my day. Can you wait a moment? Benjamin asks when we reach his house. I've got something for you. He runs inside and comes out with a frame that looks familiar. It's a photograph of Bubba and me from when I was a baby. His ears blush pink. I borrowed this without asking, and I'm sorry, but there was a good reason. He passes me a large piece of paper with his other hand. It's the sketch he drew of me and Jack in the bothy, but he's added Bubba to the picture. She looks just like she does in the photograph he borrowed. A huge smile and eyes filled with pride. He's changed the drawing of me and Jack a little too, added more shading and detail, and when I look at the eyes in the picture, they seem happier than in the original, a twinkle of excitement shining in each of my pupils. I hope you don't mind. Benjamin shuffles his feet nervously. I love it, I whisper. It's perfect. The moon is big and bright above me as I wander back across the field to my house. Its silhouette looks different somehow, and I tilt my head to try and figure out what's going on. A new section of floor is extending out from one side of the porch, and two new walls are rising up either side. 3 shoots, which will probably thicken into roof joists, are growing between the walls. As I draw closer, I realise the new room is connecting the 2 houses. Vines are clambering across the walls and creeping over the old Yaga's house. Even in the darkness, I see her house is healing where the vines are touching it. The wooden walls are stronger, more upright and gleaming in the moonlight that they've been polished with beeswax. I step up onto the soft new floor and notice the old Yaga sitting in the middle, watching fresh shoots emerge from the top of the walls and weave their way across the space above us. Jack is on her shoulder, but he squawks when he sees me and flaps over to my elbow. The old Yaga looks up at me and smiles, but she doesn't say anything. I sit next to her in silence under the stars, and we watch as our houses grow together through the night.